Oh, hi everybody, it's Jean Tuitt. I was really very disappointed and sad when I heard that Lar Park Lincoln had passed. She had a series regular role for Knots Landing, and several roles on TV and film. But she's most known for that. But well, she's known for a lot of other roles too. On IMDb. I might go into more detail on it another day, but she's very accomplished, and she had an acting studio in Plano, Texas, which is just north of Dallas. And so anyway, this is a really good book. I took one of her workshops one day. I wanted to take more of her classes. I took so many classes out in LA, I sort of overspent my budget, but I was able to get a great class with her. It was like a weekend, like a Saturday webinar or in seminar type of thing, and then I got this book, Get Started, Not Scammed. Very helpful. The first time I went to LA, I was lucky not to get scammed because there's lots of scams out in LA. The first time I moved out there in 2003, but I came across her book and her when I met her in the SAG-AFTRA group in Dallas, and she was very industrious. She, I feel like her guardian angel spirit is helping us now with all our challenges, not only as actors, but also human race. But anyway, she was always just going here and there. She taught classes out in LA and in Dallas area, well, Plano, and then she did a lot for SAG-AFTRA, and she was just always so full of vim and vigor and so industrious. She's just such a great inspiration. So this is Get Started Not Scammed by Lar Park Lincoln. And I was lucky enough to get, and I knew her as a friend, and I was able to get her her little sign in that she signed my book. Don't follow your dreams, chase them. So she gave me some good advice. Like a lot of actors, we sort of probably are not proactive enough in our careers. I mean, I am proactive, but it's competitive. But anyway, I'm going to take that heed to notice here about getting in front of more people and everything. But and then she had another book that she gave us with that was Becoming a Successful Actor. This is another really good book. It's written by Chad Gracia. But anyway, so yeah, there's just a lot of great things going on in the acting world. I mean, you can always write books and coach and stuff like that. So this is a really good book too, just to bring the subject of another Texas filmmaker, someone who's became very successful also like Lar Park Lincoln. He's Robert Rodriguez. Everybody knows him. He's had some really big films, and he's made a lot of them in Texas, but he has traveled to LA a lot too to do things. But I was able to meet one of the stars of one of his films, Danny Trejo, one day. He was having a special little party for the public at one of his donut places. Danny Trejo has a donut place in LA and also a taco place when I lived out there. So, and then another shout out to my friend Stephen Foster, that I've shouted out his book, Awakening the Actor Within. He's holding a little acting webinar coming up soon. So, anyway, I wanted to shout out to him on that. If you need any more information about that, you can contact me or Stephen Foster. Tell him I sent you. I guess that's all. I still am kind of surprised about Lar Park Lincoln, because even though she has battled breast cancer and different things in the past, I mean, she's always been so full of vim and vigor. I know during the actor strikes, we had some meetings up in Dallas, and took some group pictures where we all wore our SAG-AFTRA t-shirts and held signs. And she was just always doing so much for other actors and for her own acting career. She was always on the go. Um, Apparently she used to go to a lot of horror film, I guess, conferences too, with another friend of mine, Todd Jenkins, who in the past has also taped some of my auditions. He's out in Plano too, see. So, but anyway, yeah, be sure and get her books, especially this one, the one she wrote, Get Started Not Scammed. Even if you've been in the business a long time, I had started my acting career in 2003, and then I guess I got this book like maybe around 2014 or so. So it's still got great info, because you can still get like approached by scammers. In fact, everybody knows that I was, well, you know, a lot of people were, but once I started replying to a few of those Brad Pitt imposters about 4 or 5 years ago, after I saw him on stage live, and I've seen him in person at a school and everything, but just briefly, you know, a lot of times you see these celebrities and you don't even know who they are until later, you know, like I even met Weinstein that way one day. Like, just different people like that, you just don't even, things happen so fast out in Hollywood, and anybody that has some fame is going to be moving quickly too. So, but anyway, when I saw him and Tarantino and DiCaprio speak at the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood premiere at the ArcLight, you may have already heard this story like 3 or 4 times, I don't know, but I just said that was so great. I felt butterflies. It was so exciting to see him and Tarantino and DiCaprio up on stage talking about the film and everything. So all I had to do was just post a few things online. That was so exciting, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, everybody and their dog was like celebrity imposters. Like, there were just so many. I was inundated with so many of them, constantly replying to DM. Most people know not to. I never had the money for them, so I'm on a budget. So as soon as they asked for a phone card or something, I would just delete and cancel. But I guess I wanted to meet him, and each one would say, oh no, I'm the real one, I'm the real one. You know, they always say that. A lot of them do. So don't get pulled into all that mess, because I finally had to block and report all of them and unfollow most of them too. So anyway, but you can get, if you're not careful, because yes, they tried to not only do the romance scam on me, being an older single actress, but a lot of them would try to like talk to me about, you know, getting new agents and headshots and all that, and charging for all the stuff, which a lot of stuff, of course you do have to pay for your headshots and everything, all your photography, but for, you know, agents, they work on a strictly commission basis. You know, if they think that they can market you and book you with the materials that you have, you know, in your current acting career and your current clips and your background and your training, and, you know, they look at all the stuff and your video clips and your, you know, all your headshots and your resume and everything. And, you know, so basically they need someone in your kind of category or whatever. So basically they will, you know, hire you. I mean, they'll just not hire you, they just will take you on. They work on a strictly commission, just the way that most insurance agencies make 10% off your home or auto policy. The premium that you pay, say you pay $500 on your, you know, whatever, some kind of an auto policy or something, then they will make like 10% off of that, like $50. But a lot of times taxes and fees are taken out, so the agent may not even be making that much. Well, the same thing goes for talent agents. So, of course, a talent agent for a top actor that makes millions of dollars is going to be more concerned about booking them, but then actors, you know, like me that will work. Well, I no longer work for pennies on the dollar because I'm in SAG-AFTRA. I have to kind of raise the bar a bit on what I get paid when I do get booked. But, and for my auditions, I have to, they know ahead of time. But it's still like a lot less than what they would pay a named person. So, but anyway, but yeah, there's so much to know about the whole acting world, and it's like a cottage industry out in LA too, and I've lived out there like several times over the past 20 years, and so a lot of actors can get scammed out there, but also by all the celebrity imposters online too. So trying to offer people, a way into the industry or something, it's all a bunch of scam, operators. Apparently they work out of call centers and everything. But in LA, you can easily meet people, you know, anywhere. So, but she just did such a great job all her life in her acting. So I feel like she was still really young. She passed away in her early 60s, and, I'm up there too. So, and I'm in my, whatever too. So I try not to talk about age a lot, being an older single divorced person, or, and also sometimes booking a little bit younger. When I say younger, 40s or 50s, which to me 40s and 50s is still young too. But I lost my mom to cancer, and two friends that were school teachers over the years, and it's a horrible thing, and a friend, like if somebody's a heavy smoker, or they can just get it from different female issues or whatever. But it's just, I would hope and pray that someday we find a cure for cancer. It's an awful thing. You'd think we would have some really great cures for it now. They are starting to come out with some ideas for curing cancer, but just like everything, it's always a challenge. So, but anyway, that's all for today. I will talk about more in the future, but I may talk about more how inspirational Lar Park Lincoln was. She's just so industrious. I mean, every time I met her, she was always working on something or helping somebody. I mean, it was just amazing. It's just amazing how industrious and I guess conscientious of everything, and she just was really on point with everything all the time. So she loved her life, though. It's, when you love what you do, just like my friend Joanne Linville lived well into her 90s, one of my favorite acting coaches, Joanne Linville, who, she's the one whose ex-husband directed On Golden Pond with, Henry Fonda, Jane Fonda, and her son was in that movie too, Chris Rydell, and her ex, Mark Rydell, directed it. And then, but Joanne lived to be well into her 90s too, and she was an acting coach most of her life. And then she was in a number of films too, with Burt Lancaster, and she was on the original Star Trek series with William Shatner, and she had a myriad of jobs as an actress, not only on stage, and she taught with Stella Adler, and she trained Mark Ruffalo, and she trained the Kramer guy from Seinfeld, and Selma Hayek, and she just was so awesome, and she just loved her life. She did a lot of voiceovers and acting, not only on stage in New York, but also film and TV, and when you really love what you do, you will, it's wonderful to really love your work and love your life. So I was sort of glad to find acting in 2003. Well, I had it before. I had the bug before when I was younger, like in high school. I was in musicals and dance recitals growing up, but we were raised, like, we can't afford this, we can't afford that. I mean, my dad was a depression baby, and, had a lot of other issues with him too. So, but anyway, but it is what it is, and I guess that's about it. So, well, I'm going to go now. Thank you so much, and So I guess that's all for now. So I may make another video later today or tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, bye.